Hey there, everybody. Prometheus MFD here.
And this is episode 49.
And today we're trying something a bit different. Today we're going to do I refer to it as a Two Best Friends play style live commentary.
It's like we haven't said this before or something.
Yeah. But the biggest issue is we live 1,500 miles away. So we're doing this live stream, which is a huge hassle to set up. Not very fun to maintain, but we're doing it anyway because what the hell.
We're doing it anyway because nothing has stopped us from a bad idea before.
No, I'm boo to that. So today we're going to play probably what is my all-time favorite game on the GBA, Golden Sun. I'm also going to maintain character names because whatever. Jay Bizzo here has actually not played it, which is a rare thing.
You're maintaining character names because you're fucking boring.
I'm absolutely boring. Plus, this is not a Nuzlocke run.
That's true.
The thing that spurred this on was it being released for the Wii U Virtual Console.
Which is the version that you're playing right now.
Exactly. It allowed me to record it without having to wait for my Game Boy player. The Golden Sun series was released very early in the Game Boy Advance's lifetime.
November 2001, I want to say.
Yeah. So an interesting story about this game. My best friend at the time, he had a copy of this game for his Game Boy Advance, and I played it, hanging out at his house, and I loved it.
He says his best friend. This was before.
This was before, like, you.
Years before. This was back when I was a babby.
Yeah, I was like 11.
I would have been 12 or 13 or something.
So I played it. I'm like, man, I got to get this game because my birthday was coming up and I wanted a Game Boy Advance. So I told my parents, I'm like, hey, get me Game Boy Advance and Golden Sun for my birthday, if you will. And they did. And I got it, and I opened up, and it was the second half, the Lost Age. Now we just
because you're late on this shit.
Yeah, but so I played that first, and then got this much later.
So you're taking this as from an interesting perspective.
Yeah. That
you played the sequel first.
Indeed. So we glossed over a bit of the story. The boulder on the top of the mountain they live under is falling. And so they told me to go to the sanctuary in the south end of town, but a couple of boulders there just blocked me off.
What a bunch of dicks!
Yeah. They're kind of forcing me to go around because, tutorial level.
Because plot progression.
Exactly. So we just picked up our first party member, Garrett. Just go check these guys out. Up north is the Mount Aleph, which is the boulder. So for those of you who don't know, the story behind Golden Sun is that it takes place in a fantasy world where people have this mystical power called synergy, which is a portmanteau of psychic and energy.
That's how you pronounce that.
Yes.
I was fucking arguing with myself. How do you pronounce it? Because of course I haven't played the game before. I just downloaded it. Actually, I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I'm like, he's downloading. I'm like, you want to try this tonight? He's like, oh, this is gonna be a huge hassle. A huge. What'd you say? The word.
I said disaster.
Disaster. That's it. I can remember words. But I'm like, hey, I want to, I kind of want to do the whole veteran versus, semi-veteran versus newcomer thing, which adds some interesting perspective. So that's that. But anyway, Golden Sun's the people have synergy, and in ancient times there was alchemy, which was a great power that got sealed up, and that's all I'm letting you guys know. It's an interesting game. It has some quirky dialogue. It hints to a story that's. It hints to a a story that's not detailed. And that each of the characters receives characterization, and there's all this stuff, but it's not shown explicitly to you, and it's even then rarely hinted at, just because it kind of breaks the immersion. So you'll have the main characters, Isaac and Garrett, who I have now. Isaac is the player character, and then the others join up with him. Of course, as a result, Isaac has literally no personality because he's the player. But the other characters, have their own characterization. It's just not as much there compared to like NPCs. But anyway, I'm rambling.
Yes, you are.
So this introduces the early Final Fantasy style random monsters.
I'm like, this is eerily reminiscent of Final Fantasy random battles.
Very much so, but it's not as egregious. Like, you won't get moments where you're just, almost dead, all your resources are gone. All your resources are gone.
Is it stupid like in Final Fantasy 3 where you could just manipulate everything so you reduce the amount of random battles that you're in? And that's
Are you kidding me? Golden Sun's all about manipulation. Hell, there's a way to manipulate to get item drops. Specific item drops. That I'm not going to bring up now because I was never good at it. It's very math intensive. So
it involves taking a certain amount of steps.
Yes. You have to do certain things in a certain order to reach a certain checksum, so that when the enemy dies, you get the specific item you were looking for. Oh god, the music in this game is so good.
So this is the prelude to Heavy Rain?
Oh man, if Heavy Rain were anywhere near this good.
David Cage would be exonerated forever.
Exactly. Like this would like if he just basically made Golden Sun, not even anything new, just copied it wholesale. So that's one thing that blew me away as a kid. The NPCs went in a door and came out and went through the house. I'm like, oh man, that's amazing, because I didn't realize that it was a separate map entity for the indoor of the house. Now one of the quirks in this game is that if you answer no to everything, there's a unique dialogue at the end.
I have heard about this.
Yeah, where one character says, "Why are you so negative?" or asks you why you're so negative about everything. Hold B to run, by the way. I forgot about that.
Do you think this is some kind of game?
Yes. I'm not going to do that because... fuck it.
This is me bring up all the System Shock 2 lines.
Oh, man. You know what? Shodan Cross Golden Sun would be a pretty pimp game. So synergy works much like magic on a series of points, and
it's your magic or special move ability that you're given in every RPG ever.
The biggest difference is that game world puzzles require it, which it's rarely done now. I mean, think of how awesome that was then. So this introduces the concept of that scene right there just introduced like two concepts of the synergy zones, which will fully recover your synergy, and jumping across one tile gaps.
You can jump? What the shit?
It's fucking everywhere. And I think that yeah, it's an RPG. Talk to all the NPCs.
Just all of them.
I'm not gonna do that because whatever.
Does that waste too much fucking time?
I'm going to minimize that. I'm not going to skip over dialogue, but I'm going to go through it about as fast as I read, because I assume...
Which is pretty fucking fast.
I can assume you can stop the video.
You have that power.
Yes. We don't. So I just have to use my elite reading skills. And actually, I'm not even paying a whole lot of attention, because I know...
Because you have played this game like 147 bajillion times.
I do not rewatch movies. I do not replay games. I've replayed this game to completion 6 times.
That's close enough to 147 bajillion or whatever I said.
Pretty much, considering how long. This is actually a pretty decent game in length. It was actually Golden Sun was supposed to be a standalone title, but it ended up being such a meaty game that they had to split it into 2 cartridges. Oh no, The Rock.
Bottom, The Rock says.
Man, what? Like,
wouldn't that be the sickest shit if Isaac just like did the people's elbow on somebody?
Jesus Christ! Now I gotta Photoshop that shit in. So yeah, the Mount Aleph boulder finally fell. Probably taking those people with earlier who were holding it back with synergy. It took
so
them
those dudes are fucking super dead.
Yeah, probably. And then hold up, I've never done this. Can I go check up on those dudes? No. That'd be too easy. But it also took out Felix and Isaac's dad and Garrett and Jenna's parents.
And it's like, well, shit.
So this is one of those Japanese games where the characters are in their mid to late teens but still look 12 years old. Sometimes. They definitely look too young to be 17 and 18 for the main meat of the game. They're like 14 here. When I was younger than 17 and 18. So even back then, when I'm like, oh yeah, everyone in that old is an adult, I'm like, oh, they still look way too young. So this introduces the main antagonists of the game, Saturos and Minardi.
You could tell because of their long coat things.
Yes. Everyone has long cloaks and coats. It's pretty awesome. I really do like the art style of this game. It's the way overworld sprites look, and enemies are pretty cool.
This art style would carry over into other Camelot GBA games. Like
much.
I've played the what would that be? Mario Golf and Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Advance, and the art style is very similar.
Camelot was pretty good. It was a pretty good GBA developer. Also, that previous boss fight was a
Unwinnable?
Yeah, completely unwinnable. Man, look at that title screen.